Good evening and welcome to Once Upon a Time in the Old World, Season 2, Part 5. You join us tonight. I am Jim, your Games Master, and this is my fun-packed bunch of friends. Who's going to speak first?
Make Roger's up.
Hi, I'm Roger. I am definitely awake tonight, and I am playing Johann von Earthender, the human, slightly less exploded than fate was trying to make engineer.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aaron. I'm definitely awake because it's only noon here in San Diego, and I am playing the human Hagen Ritter von Delbers, the Knight of the Cult of Ulrich. And I spent some experience on my initiative because I'm trying to catch Ilmarin.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I can already feel our audience cringing at my accent again, so here we go. Hey up, by gum, I be Dan, I'll be playing Mordek the Pit Fighter, and this week I have mostly not been spending my XP. I be Dan, I'll be playing Mordek the Pit Fighter. This week I have mostly not been spending my XP.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. Good job,
you got to hear your own accent.
Just a double dose of it, yeah.
You see, now the Chaos Gods are inflicting you back on yourself.
Yeah, I do apologise for that, everybody.
Hi, I'm Colin. I am playing Carolyn Redemacher, the human warrior priest of Ulrich, and I believe I spent my XP on willpower. I'm mostly spending my XP on willpower at the moment because I need it.
Hey everyone, I'm Dan and I'm playing Ilmarin, the elf envoy, and I have not spent any XP this week.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I think I've got this all sorted. Last week, our party had a couple of leads on how to find out what had happened to the engineers' buildings and certain artifacts that have been stolen from the cult of Ulrich, some keepsakes. And they got a lead with some chap called Brian the Worm, who was quite a slimy little toe rag of a man. But he had some information that proved very worthwhile. And in between this, which Hagen found him and spoke to him eventually. The rest of the motley crew, apart from Carolyn, decided that they were going to break into a bit of a strong old warehouse from an underworld group.
Bill break in is a strong word there.
I mean, they kind of broke us in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some manoeuvres going on there, really, as I believe a bucket of poo got chucked all over you. Ilmarin tried some flip, acrobatics, really, not just one flip, and ended up with his legs wrapped round Mordek's neck and in a heap on the floor.
I think you'll find that was all part of Ilmarin's tactic to protect Mordek from the gun.
Yeah, and as Johann let loose with his prized pistol, he had this almost second sight that he blew his arm off, but when he fired, everything was fine. But you join us as they've just spoke to Brian and he's gone off to find some information. I believe he offered to sell the group a weapon that can cut through metal. And they've been given the name of an inside man to the Ebon Blade called... Who can tell me his name?
Was that the Guard Sergeant Kessler?
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So Roger's just signalled to me that there's a bit of an issue with The character sheets. That's why, I think. Hagen, can you use your character sheet?
Make any changes to it. Let me see if I can make a roll. It's rolling. I mean, I can roll my skills, but it's not.
How about you, Roger? What's happening?
I can roll them. I just can't like spend XP or anything.
Okay.
Every time I try and do something, it says slight angle must be between 1 and 360 degrees.
Yep, I'm getting the same.
Yeah, me too.
So it seems we can play. We'll just have to
Figure that out after.
deal with.
We can still entertain.
Are you not entertained?
Not at the moment.
Worst comes to worst, you'll have to tell me what you're updating and what I believe it could be some of the chaos lag from over the weekend that wrapped itself around my car today. Anyway, yes, so Brian the Worm has just left you. It's about 9 o'clock at night. Ingrada Muller is with you, the guards captain from Ubersreich, who travelled up with you. She's got herself a position in Middenheim, working with the guard over here, same position. She is indeed a guards captain over here as well. Yeah, what to do, guys?
What time of day is it?
About 9 o'clock at night.
Oh. Return to base.
We have
You are
returned
at
to
base.
base.
We are at base.
Yes, remember
Totally
I
paying
had
attention to that.
I had a bath and you cleaned your armor, but not yourself. You disgusting Dowie.
I've
So
been
you
telling
still-
you, I already had my bath this month,
You
this
said
year.
this year.
I thought it was this year, yeah.
I mean, we're essentially waiting for Brian to come back with the information we need to do the next step, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think so.
If we've got
that-
time, which will be like in the morning, Carolyn will probably would like to head over to the temple. I kind of need an excuse to spend some XP on some things that she has no excuse to spend XP on at the moment.
I am going to thoroughly clean my pistol after, and that's not a euphemism, after his almost vision last week, and ensure that it is in thoroughly working order.
Yeah, you've seen the film Final. Have you seen the film Final Destination?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was almost that you had sort of a forethought on what was going to really happen, and as you pulled your trigger, it sort of all happened at once, and you felt this really sick feeling. But then you blew the guy's head off, and everything was fine.
For
Or
you.
his leg off, I believe.
So I think Hagen would probably just see to the defenses of the inn, just in case the big cheese decides that this is the night that he's going to come and try to burn our inn down, making sure that the Franz is checked out with the blunderbuss that Johann brought back, and once he sees all of that, he would probably be looking to hit the rack.
Yeah, Gunter and Franz are extremely pleased with their new presents with these two blunderbusses. They're
I would have
absolutely.
also cleaned them and checked them over.
Yeah, I believe the word is happy as a pig in shit. As they're, it's like Christmas Day for them. You notice that Gunter has got out a rather sharp object, and he's etched himself a bit of a fish in the side of his. Into
That's
the barrel.
That's nice work, Gunter.
Yeah.
Is it actually nice work?
It's a little bit like the Christian fish, but yeah, you can tell it's a fish. It's like the outline of a fish. It's nothing. It's not of the
Sigmar's
standard
fish.
of it's not of the standard of Carolyn's holy symbol. But yeah, it's
So it's not awful.
Yes, I will need to make another one of those in due course.
I haven't seen it.
As
Otherwise,
you said,
I'd
Colin, it's yours. You created it. You know what it is, and it's special to you. What more can you want? Yeah.
One that people actually recognise as Ulrich's holy
and you
symbol.
had an artist in the party. Eh?
The thing is, I do have artist myself as a trait.
You've got artistic.
If they don't
got
recognise
artistic
it
as a
as
trait.
Ulrich, you can always back it up with your hammer to the face.
Yeah, Jim had me roll at -20 to make this thing. So, you know. Apparently,
Maybe if
I
you had
didn't have particularly good setup for making it on the road.
Yeah, maybe if you had a go in Middenheim at one of the many engineers' buildings with all the setups that they've got, then, you know, hold on a second, they burnt to the ground.
Or ask Johan
most
to
of
borrow
them.
some of his tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's one
So,
thing
yeah.
Hagen would do too, is he would have taken Guard Captain Mueller aside and kind of briefed her on everything that they'd found out so far in the event that they die, so that the guard is aware that it was the big cheese that broke into the vault, that he did steal or contract this gun that can melt metal, and that he's at the heart of the problem, and that he's working with the Ebon Blade. And he would just let her know that we're continuing our investigation, but in the event that we're stopped, you should be aware of that so you can continue the work.
Absolutely.
And you're also making a point of telling her who the supposed Ebon Blade contact is.
Yeah, yep.
And you say his name's Rolf Kessler.
Yeah, that's right, Guards Captain. He's implicated, and we don't have any actual evidence against him at this point, but he's definitely worth watching.
I believe we got a complaint a few moons back regarding the Kessler gang from Ulrich. A bunch of, ne'er-do-wells, and some say they're cannibals, and they have a taste for human, elf, dwarf meat. Apparently, they were causing. They broke some elf from out of some tomb, apparently. In Uber's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Roger. Sorry. Oh yeah, Johan has some of their tasty delights.
It's a bit green at that.
What, you feasted with them, Johan?
It all came back up afterwards, I can assure you.
We were tricked on the road. The men were posing as Ubersreich guards, escorting the elf to prison, when in fact they were the ones who broke him out. It was not our finest hour, but we are aware of the evil that they wreak.
Yeah. The chap that you was just talking to as well, he seems, shall we say, untrustworthy at the most.
Absolutely. He's a criminal through and through. I don't trust him at all, but if he gets us closer to the real threat, crime is horrible, but the real threat are these cultists and these people who are destroying the Engineers Guild. If we can get to them, stop them, and recover the relics, then we can deal with the petty street crime at a more leisurely pace. It's good to know your enemy and keep them close until you have to squash them.
Yeah, I have to say that I feel uncomfortable in that gentleman's presence, shall we say.
As do I. If I felt simple interrogation would have gotten the information we needed without his compliance, then we would have taken that conversation in a different route. but I think at the moment he's better used as a stalking horse for our work. He can be rolled up later with the rest of his organization.
He's a means to an end.
You think?
He's someone that seems ambitious enough to want to overthrow his boss. We can use him for that.
I'm just aware that a lot of these scumbags will see you as rich pickings. I mean, I know that we're not exactly affluent as a group, but we have enough to get by rather well. And I think you need to be ever aware of trusting the wrong people. Not that I'm trying to teach Grandma to suck eggs.
Oh, we don't trust him.
Right. Okay.
I do appreciate your words, Guards Captain. We do need to be
Yeah.
ever vigilant against them.
Yeah, after
Besides,
all,
once you've got our information, if you want to arrest him because you know he's a criminal, we're never going to stand in the way of the guard doing their job.
And he stated to us that he was involved in the break-in that we've been tasked with investigating.
Whilst you were here.
I mean, he said it in front of, a knight of Ulwick, and...
Right. His assistance to the big cheese will be his downfall. But if he can get as close to Edom Good first, then we'll have the true culprit behind all of this, I believe, or at least a link to his associates in the Ebon Void.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. Well, that has to be primary, of course. I'm a little bit concerned as well with this way they got through that vault door, because I've been told by a number of guards that it was near impenetrable unless you knew the combination.
Yep.
He implied it was sort of Sorceress device, perhaps powered by Warpstone, that allowed him to melt through it. He's going to give the location of it so it can be recovered.
Okay.
Needs to be dealt with once we recover it. If there is Warpstone in there, we can't allow it to be kept. It needs to be destroyed.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Warpstone makes me nervous. I mean, I've not really had much dealings with it apart from that thing that you brought back here. But for me, we need to keep as far away from it as we can, if possible.
Aye, that's well said. I want nothing to do with it. Ilmarin has been diligent in educating us on the horrors of Warpstone, along with Mordek. And even though I had never heard of the substance before I started journeying with this group, I see it as a pure, malignant cancer on the Empire.
Indeed, it's the source of a lot of our problems, definitely. I just think that we need to be again, I'm not treating you like idiots. And I know that you have a lot of knowledge in things like this, but Middenheim, even though it's probably a little bit more civilized than Ubersreich, it's frequented by a much more lower class and slightly more aggressive criminal. I mean, the Low Havens were probably the worst we had to deal with in Ubersreich. Here, well, there's a number of factions. And one of the lower factions is the one that you chaps have been looking into. And that's that big cheese person. But as you found out, rumor is that he has a big backer behind him at the moment, or very much did so.
Apparently, it's the Ebon Blade.
Really? Who told you that?
The
We were
worm.
just talking to.
Yeah, the worm.
Ah, okay. I missed that bit.
He drew a direct connection between the two organizations. We inferred that it was the Ebon Blade backing him. At the very least, they're working closely together. If there's a third party involved, we don't know of them yet.
Well, what I suggest is that for the time being, we close this place down. We don't open it. We can use the back door. We'll bar the front door. We'll get Gunter and Franz to barricade the windows. Put some shutters on the windows. In fact, make sure that it's a little secure, because I think we're going to be the brunt of a number of. We've still not found out why that cult attacked the other night. The Evolving Promise one. In this Ebon Blade, from what you tell me, they're dangerous. You've had a running before with them, I believe.
Yes.
Have you any idea who their leader is, or what what their goals are, or
They seem to be out to cause chaos and start multiple wars. When we encountered them last, they were stirring up the Bretonnians, stirring up the Greenskins, trying to get us blamed for at least one part of that.
And Delmarin, didn't you say the elf was some sort of dark elf or something? I still am not clear on the differences in your race, but
yes, he's a Druki, which is in the common tongue dark elf. They broke away after a civil war, and they're led by an evil, malignant witch king. And they live in a cold and inhospitable land. And
like Bretonia.
No, worse. Icy and cold. You don't want to go there.
Are they really a thing? I thought they'd all disappeared.
Well, every now and again, everyone thinks they've all disappeared, and they reappear, but they haven't troubled the elves of Avalon for some time now.
Are they like chaos elves?
No, they're still staunchly against chaos, but they closely follow the dark side of the elven pantheon, and they revel in murder and discord. And
sounds pretty chaos.
I mean, if you want to draw a line and distinction, it's very, it's hard to say. It's not chaotic in their behaviour, but I mean, everyone can fall to the traditions of chaos. But yes, they're not good news anyway. Is what I'm trying to get at.
I mean, how do we tell them apart from you?
They're generally paler, generally wear black and horrible colours. They never look very presentable unless
so
they
want to. If I see an
to.
elf wearing black, I should shoot them?
Absolutely not, because some elves do wear black. But if the elf is not trying to murder you or steal your children or something like that, then you're probably okay. But for humans, I imagine it's probably very difficult to tell the difference between an Assyrian and a Druki. Tall.
Is it like the empire, an imperial citizen, and a Bretonian?
I mean,
only without the garlic smell.
Oh, Master Johan, you always make me laugh. But yes, humans are very, very similar. But your accents are what I can tell you apart. Anyway, this is a long conversation. Yes, Druki bad.
It's kind of glance over at Hagen. So shoot the ones in black.
That's kind of what I got out of it too.
Yeah, I once I'm aware of some elves that wear black, but I believe that they were elves. There was some form of cult that followed a group of minstrels who played dower songs and
The infamous Gothic elves, is that?
Blisters of the Thirsty, I think they were called.
Oh,
But
and
you're
then
right.
we've got elves who live in trees and woods and they live here in the old world with you humans.
They're the ones that steal kids.
No, they don't.
They live in trees like squirrels.
I mean, it's probably slightly nicer than that, but
So they collect acorns.
Oh dear God, or dear gods, I should say. There's lots of different types of elves. Like there is lots of different types of humans. You know, you got your humans from Kislev, and you got your humans from Atonia, and you got your humans from Tilia and Astilia and the Border Princes. There's lots of you, so there's lots of us. And I don't go around shooting all the different types of humans. So please don't go around shooting all the different types of elves. If we see a Druki, I will point it out to you.
Excellent. That's all I wanted to know, Elmarin.
Yeah,
preferably before we get
sheltered.
too close.
I've spent most of my time in, cities, outdoor, Middenheim. It was and I've not spent a lot of time in the wilds other than what we spent in our journey here. So my knowledge of the deeper happenings of the other races and are very limited. I did hear that there is quite a small breeding pool of your kind without being insensitive.
I mean, here.
Or is that not true?
Here in the old world, I mean, I guess you could say that. But we live for a very long time. It doesn't really come up as an issue. Back on Otherone, in our homelands, there's lots of us. But you are right to say that, like the Dao, we are a dwindling race. We are the elder races, and youngsters are more populous than we are. Like rabbits, I do believe the terminology is.
You may have a good point there, Elmarin. And at that, Hagen turns and he starts organizing the fortification of the inn as the guards captain recommended.
Yeah. You start to think about it, then you realise there's Franz and Gunter, who don't seem to be involved yet. And as you look across to where the bar is, the kitchen door's open, and you can see both of them almost playing soldiers round the table, ducking behind and with their blunderbusses that they've got. And they seem to be fully enjoying the fact that they get to be old world soldiers again without using blades.
Franz, Gunter, help us fortify and board the windows and block the front door. We're going into siege posture.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Shall we cut some of the benches up, Sir Hagen?
I would prefer that we not destroy the furniture if we can find other materials, but if necessary, do what you need to do.
I believe there's some excess stools and things down in the cellar. But we can use those down there, and there's some benches down there as well. We could cut them up.
That sounds perfect.
I mean, Master Dowie, your race are always good at building things. Mordek?
I've been on. Mordek has been kind of burying himself in an ale and on purposely ignoring the conversation about elves. Otherwise, he would be getting himself in trouble. So at his name, he kind of looks up and goes, "Hey, what? Yes, indeed. Not myself, though. I'd not be very good at that.
No,
prefer
but
to hit things.
Well, no, that is evident. Hit things and drink things. However, you made contact with some Dowie in the town recently. Perhaps we could employ their services to render this building not only more defensible, but at least decent looking while we're doing it. You know, we don't want to say, hey, look at our building, we just fortified it, everybody come and fight us. You know, and also, you know, Dowie have, you know, because there's no elves around to do it, they are the superior craftsmen.
Aye, you'd be right. Dowie are the superior craftsmen.
In the old world, yes, that's correct.
No, Dowie are the superior craftsmen.
And before this turns into a full-blown thing, Omarin kind of turns his attention back. So perhaps we can employ some Dowie to fortify the premises, and then it will not only look nice, but it will be functional. And the Dowie are very good at that kind of thing.
To do that, we need lots of money. To
We have
get the best craftsman, you have to pay for the best craftsman.
Well, yes, yeah, but we can give them some free ale as well. That normally helps with Dowie.
It does, but they would also want gold.
Well, of course they would. We've got some gold.
Aye. They'd be wanting payment for a hard day's work they do.
Exactly. Well, we can get anyway. I think it's a good idea. We should get some Dowie craftsmen in, even if they just do the bottom layer. So the most penetrable layer of the building. I mean, I'm not a master battle person.
It sounds like you'd be talking about reconstructing the building. That would be
No, just some nice.
I mean, this do be an inn, I say.
Yeah.
I mean, we are getting a solid metal-bound oak door tomorrow.
Exactly. So if we mimic that on the windows.
You mean shutters?
Exactly. But functional, yet protective and lockable. I'm just saying, like, we can cut up our benches, which seems rather redundant, and tack them to the windows, but it doesn't look very nice.
I mean, yes, but ain't we going up against someone who has a preferability to be burning buildings down?
Well, I don't
think
know.
we want to be blocking out all the escape routes. Like,
I don't know of any automated water systems that sprinkle onto a building. Do you?
Now that's an idea.
There you go. You have a future in fire safety, Master Johan.
I do have to wonder if investing a large amount of money in a location they're going to come to and burn down, or try to. I mean, sure, we can try and stop them, but ultimately, the more we invest in this place, the more we have to lose.
But look, I started doing my stage and everything. Like,
I say, I'm preferring a straight up fight to all this hiding behind some barricades. Like,
Yeah, we just need to know when they're coming.
okay, so we're not building any defences. I'm going to go to bed. Good night. And then Warren stomps up the stairs, quite upset that everyone ignored him.
I've been thinking we hurt his feelings.
Oh,
Wake
we
me
will
up if
fortify the
anyone
building
comes
slightly,
and
but
tries
not
to kill us.
But
Caroline wanders
employing
off to go and find somewhere to sleep.
stonemasons to coat the outer building is rather excessive. And time-consuming.
Before anybody goes to bed, like, perhaps we should be setting up a watch.
Yeah, Hagen is already. He's like, I'll take the first watch, and he sets himself up.
But Aegon, you be up all night last night. You took the whole watch.
That's why it'll be better for me to sleep after the first watch. I get a full night's sleep that way.
Right, you are.
Perhaps you should take one in the middle, Mordek. You can see in the dark far better than we can.
That'd be a good idea, Manly.
And then Ilmarin shouts from upstairs because he can hear you. I'll take one of the midnight watch as well because I've got good eyesight, better than the dwarfs. And then you hear the door close before he knows Mordek's going to respond.
That's just cheeky, that.
All right then, Karen, I guess we'll take the last watch.
All right.
So I'll make that 5 watches, yeah. So could somebody roll me a D6, please?
Two.
Okay. So the first watch, who was doing the first watch?
Hagen was.
Yeah, and then who was doing second?
I think Mordek, then
Either Mordek or
Elmarin.
Elmarin is one of those
okay.
two.
Probably
take
Mordek than
second.
Ilmarwin, because
Yeah.
then Mordek gets to wake up Ilmarwin, which I'm sure he'll take great joy in.
Just leaning over him with my stinky beard, slightly matted, but and a bit crusty,
Oh,
And Mordek,
with a
about
wet
halfway
rolled
through-
up cigarette in his mouth that he's smoking.
About halfway through your watch, give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
We'll make it an easier one. So
plus 20 for,
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
I think. Is that easy? No, is that average? I don't know. Oh, no,
Okay,
easy's
let's
plus
have a look.
40.
Yeah. Easy's plus 40. Sure, it might work. Let's see what happens. Hurrah! Jolly good.
Wow,
Nice.
5 success levels.
Surprisingly
okay, so
successful.
Gunter and Franz have blockaded the door quite well. They've put a bit of a system, like on the back of a castle door, where it's got a big chunk of wood that slides in. It's an old bench, basically, that they've managed to slide in. So it is quite. It's not locked, but for someone to come through it, they've got to be a big person. And you hear some knocking, like banging
At the chamber door.
at the door.
Nevermore.
But it doesn't sound like a knocking. It sounds something being knocked into the door, as if someone's using a hammer on it, but like a small hammer, not a dwarven hammer, where they're fetching the door down.
Like they're trying to pop the lock.
Like, no, like the tool.
They're trying to nail something into the wall, into
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does seem like a nail or two being driven into the door.
Is anyone downstairs?
Yeah, I'm
asleep.
asleep, but downstairs.
I'll kick Roger's character awake.
Uh,
Yeah. Someone be nailing something to the door.
pick up my pistol. Well then.
Right.
Be ready. I'll move the
Okay,
bar.
the hammering stops.
I move the bar.
It's quite an heavy bar, actually, and yeah, you can manage it by yourself, but you have to work it out. It's not a smooth operation. And
Oh yeah, I was just moving it
put
so
it open.
Mordek can step into the
Yeah.
doorway.
The door, yeah, it's still got a catch on it, which it did have originally, and the old lock. That is still there, and it still works, but it isn't very secure. I take it Mordek on does the lock
Yeah.
and opens the door.
Yeah.
Okay, so you open the door, and in the day, if you got the lights on in the actual in itself, or are you?
Yeah, probably a candle.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the dim light, you can see what looks like an animal skin has been nailed to the door. And it has, hanging from round its neck, is a big black sash. And embroidered onto the bottom of the sash in black cotton or whatever is the shape of a rather nasty looking dagger.
Is it reminiscent of the ebon blade sashes
Yeah.
that we encountered before?
It is, but it looks a lot more professional. It looks like it's been, rather than a motley crew have got themselves some sashes and whatever. This seems to be a lot more affluent.
Is there any on the animal skin?
Yeah.
Has it been? Is it fresh? Or
Yeah,
has
well,
it been
as you-
tanned?
Yeah,
As you-
I'll bring a candle up.
As you,
Oh,
you
actually-
move it, you notice that a lot of the animal's still there. It looks like a wolf, and its fur is very pale, almost white.
Can we see anyone around?
No, there is some murmurings around, and there are people moving around outside. The city never sleeps, so to speak, but there doesn't look any guilty people around.
Hey,
well.
do you think the other manlings would get annoyed with us if we had this for breakfast?
I don't think wolf tastes that good.
Uh,
I'm going to remove the nail.
Keep the black
there's
sash.
3 or
We can
4
use that for
nails.
toilet roll.
They're
I'll
not very
remove
far
the
into the
nails.
wood, but they are quite substantial nails.
Yeah, I'll remove them.
The animal falls to the floor. It's had its legs removed, hacked off, but the blood is cold. It's obviously been dead a while.
Is it still bleeding, or is it?
No, it started to clag up, and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll bring the thing inside and then shut the door again.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of insult against the Ulrich people, I think, but they'll probably know more. We'll wait for them in the morning.
Right, you are. I'll go wake up the elf.
You do that. I'm going back to bed. I'll put the things back on the door and go to sleep.
I'll when I'm waking up the elf, I'll report the night's events.
Here you were coming, Mordek. I could smell you.
Aye, that be the smell of an hero.
Sure, we'll go with that. How did your people? I don't know. Anyway, yes. Okay. Well, thank you for the wake up, and I shall go on to watch. And thank you for telling me about the sash and a wolf. Did you say?
Where have you left the wolf in the actual main tavern bit, or have you put it away?
Yeah. Well, I assume. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
on
I'll
a
put it in
table or something.
I'll put it in a box or something.
That's far more civilized than what I had in mind.
There's no real sort of big boxes that would fit a wolf in, especially of this size.
Oh, can I have chucked it in the cellar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Before I do that, can I kind of check the wolf over to make sure there's no hidden devices or anything?
Of course you can.
I don't know what I would roll to poke around a wolf like that.
So, what I would like you to do is tell me what you're doing with it to check it over.
I will, initially check the obvious places you could stick something bad.
Okay.
And
how are you checking them?
Putting on my protective gear from my engineering stuff.
Okay.
Kind of, opening the mouth to have a look.
Okay.
That sort of thing, looking around on the external areas first.
Make me a perception roll.
Do I get any bonus for it being very quiet?
Yeah, I think you do get a bonus.
4 success levels.
Nice.
It's a double, so a crit.
Okay, so you have a check of it over, and you see parts of it look to be stitched back up.
I will very carefully unpick the stitching.
Okay. Could you make me an agility roll, please?
Bloody hell. Is it a dodge or an agility?
It's sort of a dodge. It's a moving your hands out of the way. I'll tell you what happens.
Bloody hell. All right. I'm going to use a fortune point.
Okay.
Well, 3 success levels.
Right. So as you're picking, it looks like from out of one of the sort of joints where one of the legs would be.
Oh, sorry. It's 1 success level. I had 2 advantage left. I was wondering why.
No problem at all.
It was
That's still enough.
62.
Something moves where the leg was from inside the wolf, and from out of it comes a rather large, well, it isn't large, but it's a snake, and its head comes from out, and it sort of opens its mouth, fangs there, and it sort of has a snap at your arm, but you manage to sort of jump back from it.
Okay, who else is downstairs with me at this point?
I believe Mordek's gone to get Ilmarin.
Okay, is Mordek's shield still down there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick that up and keep it in between myself and the snake and wait for Ilmarin to come down.
So it slithers out of the wolf and follows it. Comes another one, and then another one, and the 3 of them. They're curled up and their heads are raised, and they're sort of
in the
just
ready to strike position.
Ready to strike. They don't seem to have retreated any. They seem to be quite an aggressive sort of snake.
And from the stairs you hear, "Oh, blimey! What's that?"
Get your bow.
"Oh, they're just some snakes." And Ilmarin kind of comes down, doesn't get too close to him because they look. Can I tell what kind of snakes these are, Jim? Using outdoor survival. It's probably going to fail miserably if I do.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I roll on that as well? I have outdoor survival.
I got a success level. Did you remember to take your advantage off, Roger?
I tried, but my character sheet doesn't like it. I actually fail by 1 success level.
Okay. And you failed as well, Ilmarin?
No, Ilmarin passed with his success level.
Yeah, of course he did. How come you failed, Joe?
Because my character has 2 advantages, I think.
But the system that's not letting us update
the system won't actually let me remove.
Okay. So it's a Tillian viper, you think, a rather aggressive, sort of very poisonous snake.
So Ilmarin, rather than dealing with the snake, goes into full explanation mode with Johan, which in this moment he probably doesn't want to know, but like Ilmarin's telling him this is a Tillian viper, and they're actually extremely aggressive. You can't get too close to them. They're quite poisonous. They're quite dangerous. So and he's going into this full explanation mode and not dealing with the snakes at all.
That's great. Get your bow.
Oh, yes. Well, you got your pistol.
I don't want to make a massive hole in our new floor.
Fine. And Ilmarin strolls back up the stairs to get his bow. And then comes back down with his bow. All right, you stay there and keep him distracted. And he will try to shoot one of the snakes. If he can.
Yeah.
I will have my pistol trained on it. If it comes near me, I'm shooting the fucking thing.
Oh.
That's not what you wanted.
You have been given a reroll, Dan.
Oh, good, because
Egil very kindly gave us all rerolls.
Thank you very much. Let's try that again, shall we? There
That's
we go.
what you wanted.
So I was happy with how I dealt with Foundry over the weekend, but I've just noticed a bit of a thing, and that is that my bestiary and that has disappeared from here. So I'll have to be using the book for this. I do apologise. So
And they all turn into giant demons and kill us both.
That's a great idea, actually.
Damn.
And
Now
we
that
didn't
you
even
mention it.
and we didn't even have time to warn the others, so they're still fast asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Hagen's dreaming the dreams of the righteous.
So you shoot at it. Did I say?
That is correct, and I have done 15 points of damage, if that matters at all.
Yeah, you basically you're shooting it with an arrow, I presume.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, you stick it straight in the head, and it stops moving.
And did the other two react?
They basically wave their heads a little bit and that sort of thing.
Do you know what? This seems rather brutal. Have we got like a large box we could just put over the top of them, Johan?
Just shoot them.
And Ilmarin starts looking around for a box. Is there a box, Jim? Ilmarin doesn't like just killing life for the sake of it.
They're you said it yourself, they're very aggressive and very poisonous.
Yeah, as you go looking for a box, they do sort of follow you around with their heads. And yeah, they look like they're about ready to strike. Johan sort of took almost a what would you call it? A fetal position, but stood up with the shield.
It's definitely shield down, pistol over the top.
Okay, but very defensive then. Yeah.
So
I'm keeping
do I find
my
a box?
distance.
If not,
You do,
Ilmarin
yeah.
has another cunning plan.
Okay.
Ilmarin is going to play his lute and try to calm the creatures.
Yeah.
I've heard this works in other lands, you see.
Okay.
I mean,
nothing is impossible.
Charm animal is a skill, by the way.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't even know that. I just playing my lute at them to calm them down.
Hold on just a second while I just.
Well, I'm playing well, and if you want me to just roll something else for charming them, I will do so.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I want you to make the roll at challenging. In fact, hard.
So minus 20.
I got this. I believe in the playing of the lute. So at hard, there we go. I believe. Yes!
Oh my God.
For the dice gods believe.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I get two
Nice.
successful rolls, Jim.
Excellent. Okay, well, it does seem to calm them down. You've definitely not charmed them, but they do seem to. They do seem to have calmed a bit. Roger, just do me a favour. Make a
Briefly.
quick testing roll with your gun a minute. Tell me if that advantage is still there.
Yes, it is.
It's still there.
Yeah, there's just a lot of features on the character sheets that are just not quite working right at the moment.
Well, over the next week or so, I'll have another go at it, see if I can learn it some more. Yeah, they do seem to calm. And Gunter does come running out with a crate with like a wooden lid.
And I continue to play, and we put that crate on top of them safely.
Okay, yeah, you managed to fit both of them in, before they sort of realise what's going on. They seem to be not mesmerised, but they seem to be just feeling the vibe of your dulcet tones.
Don't attack us.
How big were these snakes?
So they were about 4 foot, you'd have guessed, but they were quite
big.
thick snake. Yeah, there's a couple of big snakes. This crate is quite a big crate, though.
Fantastic. What's
yeah.
the pattern on them?
Diamonds.
I'm going to take the snake that Ilmarin shot, and I'm getting me some new boots.
I like you thinking.
Before you take that one away, Marin removes his arrow and says a prayer to Kun off the hunter. You know, because the elves always give back to the land when they take from it. You see, a bit like that. So
Well, I suppose I just give him back to the land. He's getting some
Yeah, well,
boots,
he is.
mate.
He's not wasting the
No.
dead creature. So we safely box him up, and then I tell Franz and Gunther to just take him out beyond the city walls and let him loose into the wild.
Sure,
they're
but
not, they're not native to here.
Won't Mr. Johan require another one for his footwear plan?
Well, we don't kill needlessly.
Do these snakes live in this region? I would imagine not, given how cold it is here.
I would also imagine that the Empire doesn't particularly care about creatures coming into the regions. If they can fend for themselves, then they can live. It's survival of the fittest, but I will not be responsible for killing.
If we let them loose, they could bite a child or something.
Well, if there's a child walking around in the forests outside Middenheim, then they've got more issues than snakes.
Whoa, Mr. Ilmarin, and I know that you chaps are in charge and all that, but there's no way I'm gonna or Gunter are gonna traipse out with a suspicious-looking crate
down the mountain,
out through the guards, through the main streets.
People literally walk into this city every day with crates and walk out with crates.
Yeah, but it's
a long way to the bottom of the mountain.
Oh, for the gods! You humans are unbelievable. Just kill them then. And then Ilmarin storms off again.
Can we put them down the sewer?
No, mate. We should kill them, and I can have 2 boots.
He'll walk balanced then instead of
genius.
Okay.
Should someone remind Ilmarin that it's actually his watch?
No, he's too angry. He's gone back to bed. That's the punishment for Johan for killing snakes.
Is Mordek downstairs?
No, so Mordek went to get Ilmarin, and then when Ilmarin went downstairs, Mordek just stayed there. So he's actually lying on Ilmarin's bed.
Oh, that's just disgusting. Ilmarin will physically try and roll you out of the bed. It probably won't go well, but he will try to roll you out of the bed.
So, Mr. Johan, do you want us to kill these 2 snakes?
I wouldn't know how to go about doing such a thing. My weapons are a bit destructive for such a purpose.
We have a Warhammer down in the basement. We could just go about the crate with the Warhammer. I'm sure they won't survive that.
It would ruin the skin, though.
I would have thought it had flattened it, really.
Yeah, but it would damage the scales, and then the boots wouldn't look good.
Okay. So you're just using it for footwear, or are you going to use it because
might be able to get a belt out of the other one.
Well, no, I think it'd look fine on the handle of my blunderbuss, Gertie.
I did think about it for my pistol, but I've already got the troll bone. I think it would just cover it up.
Got to be careful with that troll bone, It might grow again.
I think it was quite dead. I shot it in the head until it stopped moving. Yeah. Normally does the trick.
My old dad used to say you can never kill a troll unless you burn it.
We burned it as well.
Well, then you don't even know because it might have been a water troll. And rumour is that they're immune, well, not immune to fire, but they don't die by fire.
I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of troll it was, but I shot it until it stopped moving.
Okay. I get that. So, how do you want us to kill it? Them, should I say?
Perhaps we should wait for Hagen. With all that armor on, I can't see a snake doing anything. I'm sure Hagen will know how to deal with it. He was always
about setting them alight?
Hunting. That would ruin the skin.
No.
Leave him in the box. We'll wait for Hagen. He'll know. He was the hunter among us.
We can always get a sharp stick and poke it through the slats of the crate.
Yeah, but if you poke it in the wrong place, that'll ruin my boots. I'll get the other. I'm sure Hagen will know. I'll make him a nice belt with the third one.
Okay. How about suffocation?
That
How
could
about
work.
if we put a like if we set a fire
No.
and like make it smoky, and then we can put them over it like death by smoke.
I like your thinking, but I don't like the idea of fire.
Okay.
Leave him in the box. We'll wait for Hagen. He'll know what to do.
Okay. Well, we're going back to bed anyway.
All right. Well, I'll take this watch rather than the last one. I'll tell Carolyn that she's on the last one on her own.
Okay. You wake Carolyn up.
I'll brief Carolyn very briefly on what's happened and tell her not very specifically do not open the box containing some very angry, very
Do not open
venomous
the
snakes.
box of angry snakes.
So you brief Carolyn in your briefs, and Carolyn goes downstairs.
Yeah.
And one of the things you notice is this loved creature of your faith that has been mutilated. What you call mutilated.
Make a nice cloak out of that.
Like you're thinking, Elmarin.
I mean, the Knights of the White Wolf literally ride around with them on them, right?
So we've had let's pick on the dwarf, let's pick on the elf, and now it's let's pick on the religious lady. Yeah, the one who's not been a problem to anybody. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Johan's very much asleep. He
Anyway.
knows it would very much offend Hagen if he said that.
Yep.
He's not that dumb.
So yes, Carolyn is angry but not really surprised. I'm also expecting that Mr. the Worm is going to turn up in a gutter somewhere, minus several important appendages.
Could be.
If they've tracked us down here and made a basically a we're gonna come kill you message directed at the people who were talking to him.
It's true, but we did get in the Big Cheese's face a couple of times, so and he does know where we live.
Yep.
So may not be directly related, but possibly is.
But I expect we're going to find him dead in a ditch. Well,
Let's hope
bits
so.
of him anyway. I
Horrible
can't say
man.
I'll be too sad for his demise, but kind of gets in the way of our leads.
So even though you are angry at that, your watch goes without incident, and it's almost time to sort of get up now. You can hear people moving around outside, markets being set up. Should I say market stalls being set up, and the chatter and the laughter of the market traders.
Hagen comes downstairs, ready for his morning exercises in the yard with his hammer.
Again, the first thing
I'll grab him off to one side and explain what I've been told, and indicate the mutilated wolf.
Damn it. You're right, Carolyn. We should have known. It's clear that they've at the very least marked you and I for death. We'll have to make sure the wolf is taken to the temple and properly interned.
I'll come downstairs. Hagen, I've got a question for you.
What
In
can I
that
do for you,
box,
Johan?
There
Aye.
are two very angry, very poisonous snakes. I think Ilmarin said Tillian adders or something along that line.
Vipers!
Thank you. Yeah, vipers. And we need them dealt with. in a way that won't, stop them being useful. And I'll kind of point at my feet.
Take the entire box and dunk it. Hold it submerged until they drowned. It won't damage the skin. It should only take about 10 minutes. If you do it in beer, they may even release some of their venom and give it a little bit of a kick.
I like your thinking. I will take the box and basically find a big tub.
There is a horse trough outside the inn.
Yeah, I'll take it out of the back to where the stables are and submerge it, put something heavy on it.
While Johan's doing that, Hagen will look at the Ebon Blade's sash and see if he can glean any information from it.
It just looks very finely made. Whoever had this made has got lots of money. It's the silk that it's made from would be in the finest of clothes. So you recognise this, that they've obviously got money behind them, or maybe a noble or two or three or four. But yeah, it is a very nice piece of tailoring. The stitch work on it is immaculate. There is no fault, and the embroidery of this blade is some of the best that you've seen in tailoring.
Ilmarin loves it. He thinks he looks fantastic. He might even start wearing it. It's very, very, very well crafted. Can I use, I know it's a bit of a strange one, but can I use art combined with noble etiquette to see if I can sort of garner the kind of person you would need to make this kind of quality? Just in case we start knocking on doors.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm going to roll art. I'm not very good at art, but he says he can't get to his character sheet. There we are. And then I'll roll it, and I'm using my... No. It looks very nice.
Woo!
You reckon that any...
Impressive.
Yeah. Any old tailor would sort this out. It's fairly average compared to your elven
Yeah, it's actually
clothing.
Now I look at it more closely. It's rather just
Ilmarin, I think you're judging it too harshly based on your own elvish tastes. This is expensive. I think they're trying.
Speaking of elven tastes, Mordek slept on my silk bed sheets last night, and I'm not happy. I couldn't roll his fat doughy ass out of my bed. I'm very unhappy. I had to sleep on another bed that didn't have my silken sheets on. I'm very upset this morning.
Right. So you're more upset about Mordek sleeping in your bed than a very well-financed cult of killers clearly hunting us.
Absolutely. We can deal with them the same way we deal with anyone that hunts us. And that's you hit them with a hammer. But I couldn't deal with Mordek sleeping. Also, that means I'm going to have to get new silk sheets now because he will make them all stinky and it won't wash. Won't wash.
Right.
Outrageous.
It's all about perspective. I hadn't seen it from your point of view.
Thank you, Hagen. I'm glad you appreciate this.
Shakes his head, turns around, and walks away.
Oh, yeah, and you can just see him in the background, sort of like shaking and the angry shake that people do.
Johan, it's pretty clear the message they're trying to send is not only that we're targeted, but that they've got the money, the reach, and the ability to get at us wherever we're at. We're going to have to be on our guard even more.
Have you
the
gone
guard
out the back
captain
to
was
tell me
right.
that? Because I'm still stood
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, he came out to check on your progress with the snakes and make sure.
I'm giving it more than 10 minutes just in case. I'm making sure the box is fully submerged with something heavy on it.
Yeah, the seams you can see through the slats that there's no more movement.
Yeah, I'll give it 5 minutes after there's no more movement just to play safe.
Yeah.
Then
And you've got 2 dead snakes.
3 dead.
3 dead snakes.
Excellent. I will.
These 2 in the box are slightly better quality because they've not got an arrow wound.
Oh, it's done. Yeah, but it was a very clean arrow wound.
It was,
Straight
yeah.
through the head.
It was elven headwork.
So it's mostly usable. Yeah, I will tip the horse trough so it's not. I don't want the horses drinking that.
Okay.
Then I'll put the other 2 snakes in the sack. Do you want a new belt, Hagen?
I would always fancy a nice belt. That snakeskin looks like it would be quite fine.
Seems like an entertaining response as a statement as well.
Indeed.
You sick multiple poisonous snakes on us. We wear them as, as accessories.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Okay, right. I think you're right, but I'll just make the task of hunting them down and killing them all the more satisfying.
There is that, but we do still need to be prepared. Anybody with this kind of money to spend can throw a lot of resources against us, perhaps even sorcery. And with Gerhardt gone, we are lacking in any real defense, save our own willpower.
Elves are supposed to be magic, right? Can't Elmarin just kind of go woo and do that sort of thing?
We should ask him. Elmarin, you're a sorcerer. You're a sorcerer, right?
I mean, most elves have like some basic inclination towards magic, but
so yeah,
I'm no
can't you
mage.
just kind of go and make magic not happen.
Oh no, I absolutely have zero skill. My sister, however, is a lore master of our people. She's a wonderful mage, very powerful mage at that.
That's great. Do you want to call her to Middenheim?
No, she's always reading in books, and she's like my parents' favorite child because she's done so much stuff with her life. Stupid sister. I have no inkling for real magic. I can sense magic, and because I'm an elf, and we kind of do that thing, and we're all a bit magical. But no, I have no inkling to go and stop magic as you described.
Elves aren't as good as I thought. I'll say to Hagen.
Well,
you see Ilmarin's eye twitch a little bit. He's not in a good mood already this morning.
Ilmarin, it's okay. You're still a good friend, even if you're a failed wizard.
Plus, and
Ilmarin just turns around and walks off. He's not.
It's all right. There's a nice bath out there.
Ilmarin continues to walk off without responding, but you can see him like sort of muttering words Elvish underneath his breath as he walks off.
What do I hear him mutter?
You don't understand it. He uses a dialect you've not heard before, but you can gather from its harshness that it's probably curse words.
I'll take a mental note of them because I can. My affinity with languages means I can speak fluent Eltharian.
All we need is our translation helmet.
It's literally my talent.
Yeah. Yes. Ilmarin walks off.
I'm gonna go right. Well, I'm gonna go see if I can find somewhere to get these tapping the sack put to use.
I think Carolyn and I will need to go to the temple and take this wolf so it can be properly taken care of.
Yeah, you might want to wrap it in something.
Aye.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere alone, though, Johan. We need to travel in a group from now on, I think.
All right. Well, I think Elmarin's in a bit of a mood. I'll ask Mordek if he wants a stroll. See if I can find him a pie. That might cheer him up.
All right. Well, if someone finds me,
yeah,
probably haven't gotten up yet.
I'll give him a bit longer.
You wake up to see Ilmarin just glaring over you. He hasn't moved now. Since you left the guys, he went straight back upstairs and is now standing over the top of you, glaring at you.
First thing Mordek does when he opens his eyes, he go, "Hey up! It be a dark elf!"
Ilmarin at that actually gives you a little slight slap around the face. Get out of my bed.
I'll be going. Look, I do apologise.
He's not wearing black. I think that was the rule.
Mordek lifts up the sheets. He's just in his long johns.
Do you know what, Mordek? Mordek, take them with you. Take them with you. Take the sheets and the cover with you. All I want to know is, did you have a good night's sleep in it?
It'd be very comfortable.
That's right. Now take them with you. You can keep them and take them to your bed, and my gift from me to you. But when I get new ones, if you sleep in them, there will be a new war of vengeance. Okay, I'm just telling you now. You sleep in my sheets again, there'll be a new war of vengeance.
Right, you are.
I'd watch you tackle if I were you, Omari.
That be the facts.
You do notice as Mordek gets out. Well, what colour are your silken sheets?
Black.
Standard, no, standard elven, sort of like
So
whites
white.
and blues. Whites
Yeah,
and
not anymore
blues.
than that.
Yeah, so
Brown.
yeah, obviously, Mordek was covered in certain fecal matter, which he washed most of it off in the horse trough. And yeah, he sort of gets out of your bed, and as he sort of sat there at the end, he sort of like coughs and farts, and he sort of stands up, and part of your sheet sort of sticks to him as he stands up, and then it comes away. And you notice there's quite a greasy sort of brown tide mark. Well, I suppose we could call it some sort of skid mark on the sheet. Yeah, and you look almost really sickening towards the back of the dwarf, and his trews have just sort of come down a little bit too much. And he happens to be scratching both like sort of parts of his backside as well.
Ilmarin gently gets his sword out and like flicks the sheets along the floor, and then over the balcony down the stairs, and he goes, "Gunther or Franz, burn them!" Just walks back into his room. He is not a happy elf today.
Mordek, do you want to go get some breakfast?
Yep, that be the truth. Quite be fancying some breakfast now.
Right, well, get dressed, meet me downstairs. We'll go get some breakfast.
Do I need to be dressing in armour?
Probably a good idea.
Right then.
I'll
Ilmarin,
kind of go downstairs.
Oh, hold on. Goes back into Elmira's bedroom and kind of gets the axe from underneath the pillow and comes back.
Ilmarin, I know you're a bit irritated with the way the morning has been going, but Carol and I are heading over to the temple, and I'm not sure it would be a good idea for you to be out on the streets alone right now. Would you like to accompany us?
Fine, I will accompany you. You need my eyes anyway. You people can't see anything anyway, so fine.
That's a good point.
Struts down the stairs in his armor and walks out the front door and stands in the street rather grumpily.
Yeah, you go upstairs, and I take it you've cleared the wolf pelt away, or are you asking Gunter and Franz to cook it, or?
No, we're packaging it, and we're going to take it to the Temple of Ulrich for a proper disposal of a sacred animal.
Okay. Everything seems busy but quiet on the streets. And as you're sort of leaving the tavern, there seems to be a young lad, probably about the age of 14 or 15. He's coming running towards you, holding a piece of paper rolled up, and he's waving it at you. Sirs!
Aye, lad.
I bring message from Baron Gunther von Jagennacker. And he passes over. You recognise this name as the betrothed of Lady Nat. And upon reading it, he's invited you to a party tomorrow night at the Claret Goblet in the park area of Middenheim.
Is the invitation for all of us?
Yeah, yes, it's to all of you. It says, in fact, it reads, Johann von Earthfinder and friends. That Baron Gunther von Jagennacker would be thrilled by your appearance at the party, Arthur's Wake. And yeah, he's invited you and a host of friends.
Well, Omaran, it looks like we're going to a party tomorrow.
Really?
Okay, I mean...
It's the Lady Knocked.
Foundry's just gone down on me. I'm just going to try and boot it up again. I don't know what's going on. But
Well, I mean, I do like the Lady Nat's company. A little bit of refined company probably would do me the world of good, in fact, right at this moment in time.
Well, that and the fact that if there are going to be that many nobles in one place who have been associated with us, there's always the chance that someone's going to try to kill them or us.
For once, can we just go to a party or do something where people aren't trying to kill us or turn us to chaos or just something? Just a nice evening out.
No, that doesn't appear to be likely for any of us for a while.
Do you know what? I am a prince of Otherone, and I'm used to intrigue, but you humans it's just chaotic.
Now,
don't blame me. I'm not
that
the one
is-
who's, I'm not the one who's trying to stab people in the dark.
it's the fact that we are fighting against chaos that has brought this down upon us. Our cause is righteous, Ilmarin. And you, as a brother in arms, will stand by us shoulder to shoulder to see it through to the end. I appreciate your friendship. In the name of Ulrich.
Okay. Ilmar doesn't know what to do with that. Sure. Actually, do you know what? There's something I've always wondered about humans and your religions, may I ask? Because obviously we have our pantheon of gods. We have lots of gods. You have two. Now, I'm right in thinking that Ulrich was Sigmar's god, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So
Ulrich.
why is Sigmar then worshipped further as a god? Because wasn't he a king? I'm just trying to understand the system of belief. And then you have like one for like the undead world, don't you? Is that more?
Yes, more, yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sigmar ascended to the heavens and now is the preeminent god of the empire and man. However, clearly I still hold to the older ways.
Oh, it's very interesting. Very interesting. We have lots of gods, probably too many gods, one might say.
Some I've heard tell of some god, Cain.
Ah, the god of murder.
Yes, we have no gods of murder.
It's interesting, Cain, because it's not. I mean, it's not like wanton murder in. Well, I mean, sometimes it is actually wanton murder, especially if you go to the extreme, which is what the Druki do, and they like very much worship Cain. But like Cain's very much like part of like you kind of give Cain some worship when you go to battle and stuff like that. But we have other gods for all sorts of things. But yeah, it's a bit of an unusual one. It's odd that we have such a dark god in our pantheon.
Yes, it is.
But there we go. I mean,
Foundry's up and running again if you want to rejoin.
All right.
I mean, I never left.
think-
My one was still working.
Just breaking away from character, what I might do is I might note down all your character details, and then I'm just going to update the lot. Yeah, and then I'll add your characters back in again with all the, because it's not got any of the core rules on there, or it's got the actors from Middenheim, but nothing else, and same from the archives of the Empire and things. So, yeah. So over the well, not next week, so I'll be on holiday, but yeah, when I get back, we'll update everything. Yeah.
Technology, you can't trust it, right? Am I right,
Absolutely.
people?
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah,
I imagine we make the rest of our way talking about gods and stuff.
So the young lad says to Johan, "Can I tell the Baron that you'll be attending?"
Oh, am I there? Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay.
I guess
Nice to
maybe we were
meet
all
you,
leaving
gentlemen.
at the same time or something. Not quite sure, but
Yeah. So it's basically tomorrow night, which
Excellent.
is the eve of the big festival.
Then I better go see if I can find someone suitable.
What better time to show off your new fancy snakeskin boots?
Yeah. And then I'll go off with
I do
Mordek
think
to
it's a very
find-
good response to people trying to kill us with snakes. Is new pair of boots.
Yeah, I'm going to
Absolutely.
go find something to chomp on for breakfast on our way to find someone to turn these
Carolyn
into boots.
and Hagen, you're going to the church, yeah?
And I
The
think
temple.
Ilmarin was coming with us to
Yes.
the temple, yeah.
So you get there, and there is a lot of city guard inside the main temple area, and there is something covered in a big black cloth, probably about 6 to 7 feet tall or long, is what's underneath there, and it's on top of some pews, and they've slid some wood there, and then there's this big cloth over what looks like maybe a big coffin of some form.
Does the black cloth look the same as the cloth that the sash was made of?
It is silken.
Can I take a closer look to make an assessment?
Okay, as you get close, one of the guards sort of drops his halberd to you to sort of keep you back. That's quite far enough, sir.
Hello, guard.
You don't understand. I'm here to inspect this, and I'm going to use cat tongue and charm
Nice.
and see if I can
Nice.
convince him that he has to believe me that I am here to inspect.
I am not the elf you're looking for.
Oh no, that didn't roll.
Yep.
Why didn't that roll? Oh no, my foundry's
Did you
down.
refresh? Because the point is, if Jim takes it down, it'll still
Oh,
display
yeah.
the last thing, but it
Ah,
won't.
no,
Just
that's
join
right.
again.
Just give me 2 seconds then.
No problem.
Okay, I will do that
Do
in a second.
apologise for this, viewers.
I will do that in a second if people want to talk to other people while my thing loads up quickly.
Hagen will approach one of the other guards and just say, I'm Hagen, Ritter von Delbers of the Order. May I know where the Din Father is?
He points you over to where there's like a sort of rectory area. Again, it's guarded by a Knight of the White Wolf. Quite a young knight, sort of your age, maybe.
So Hagen will approach.
I'll follow him, carrying a mutilated wolf wrapped in something, I presume.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Ilmarin was
success.
Ilmarin was very successful at 4 levels of success. As far as the guard is concerned, I am here to inspect and make sure everything is going well.
Okay. The other sort of guards are looking at you. You're looking quite fine today, in fact, and they're sort of looking at you. Even you get the feeling that they're even sort of attracted to you as you sort of step through. I mean, you have
Hey, you
been
cloak,
mistaken for a
Ilmarin.
lady
You've
before, especially from the rear. But yeah,
Elves are very slender.
absolutely.
So yes, so I walk through with all my airs and graces, and giving nods as I go through, and then I'm
Get
going
a
to go.
couple of winks.
Ilmarin has no idea what that means because we don't do that in humans. Elven society doesn't do that. And then I'm going to have a much closer look at the silk and the because I want to see if it matches the silk from this morning.
Okay. Make me a roll at easy.
On perception,
Yes.
easy. Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so even though it looks as cheap and nasty as that one this morning to you, it does look as if it was the same sort of material. It does feel the same.
Does it have any embroidery on it that would seem to indicate that it was
No, it has sewing on it, and again,
similar
it's
quality?
a bit rough. Yeah, but yeah, it looks like identical rough quality that the sash was.
I'm going to turn to one of the guards and say, Guard, I'm sorry, I have to ask this. Who provided this sheet?
She, we don't know, sir. It was there when we come in, madam.
Oh.
Sir, madam.
Do you know who might know who? Because this is simply not good enough. He's going on the fact that he's inspecting and he's not happy with the product as it's finished.
I don't know where we'd start, my dear. I suppose I could try my hardest to find out. You don't fancy meeting up later on, and I could tell you what I found out.
No, I shall go find out myself. It needs to be found out immediately. Thank you very much for your time, guard. And then he puzzledly walks away from the guard, not one knowing why he was winking at him and whatnot. And catches up
Don't
with
be a stranger.
Again, Ilmarin has no idea what that means. It's such a weird use of language. Sure, yeah, I'll pop by and not be a stranger. And catches up with Carolyn and Hagen to explain that the sheet that's over whatever that is over there is the same material and most likely made by the same person as made the sash.
Good job, Ilmarin.
So we just need to find out who provided that, and that'll give us a link. So maybe the Den Father knows.
Hagen turns back to the other Knight of the White Wolf. Well met, brother.
I don't believe we've met before. I am Rendell Reinhardt. And he bows and offers you his arm.
I bow and offer my arm back. I am Hagen, Ritter von Delbers, recently come to Middenheim.
He grasps you just by your elbow and like you do to him in what you know to be as sort of a welcoming clasp. It's really pleasing to meet you.
And these are my associates. This is Carolyn, a priestess of Ulrich, and our associate Ilmarin.
He bows long and low to you.
I kind of bow insofar as carrying a big dead wolf will allow me to.
And Ilmarin gives the finest of bows that you've ever seen.
Because he's an elf and he does everything the finest we ever see.
Exactly.
Part occasionally from playing the lute.
Okay. What can I do for you, Brother Knight?
I'm looking to have an audience with the Den Father. The inn that we own in town was desecrated last night. A direct affront to the Temple of Ulrich, and I wished to speak with him about the matter. But it seems like you have your own issues here this morning. What can you tell me of what this is?
They're preparing for the festival in 2 days. Other than that, yeah, I mean, they've made a right mess of the temple itself, but we've got some good workmen coming in. We've vetted them ourselves. Even though we moved a lot of valuables from the vaults down there, there are still some very valuable pieces down there, and we need trustworthy people.
Is that the casket of Arthur?
It is indeed. I've underneath the black cloth.
Where did that black cloth come from?
Honestly, I hold my answer. I have no idea.
Oh. Is it possible that we can speak with the Den Father this morning?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He knocks on the door. He's in there with the Marshal. And he knocks and opens the door. And you see the Den Father, or who you guess is the Den Father, a priest, in sackcloth, with a very impressive beard. And it looks like his hair has never been cut. Say again.
Haven't we met the Den Father?
Did you not meet him in Ubersreich? Or you met a priest here, didn't you? But it wasn't the Den Father priest.
Oh, wasn't it? Okay. It was someone reasonably high up.
Could have been wrong.
It was someone reasonably high up because they gave us because he came to the tavern with the engineer.
Yes. My apologies. Yeah, it's the same one as you met there. Sorry, I forgot you. Yeah, he sat down and this very tall, nearly 7 foot knight dressed in full plate mail with wolves decored all over the armor, and he has quite a lot of very curly red ginger hair, and again he doesn't have a really bushy beard, but it is well trimmed and it is also quite low as well. But the actual place of where hair comes from, it's well trimmed and well sort of looked after. And they both turn and look at you, Hagen, and this guy turns around. Brother Knight, I am Knight Marshal Maximilian Bescheck. And he walks forward and offers you his arm.
Hagen takes his arm, and Knight Marshal, it is a great privilege to meet you.
This guy's forearms are absolutely massive. Yeah, and as you sort of grasp hold, your hand is still very open. Yeah, and he is a man mountain. You are with us a good time. Most of our brothers are out dealing with whatever political wrongs are going on down towards Ubersreich with the Bretonnians. We may have a bit of trouble brewing. We were just discussing now.
Well, Knight Marshal, it goes without saying that my hammer is always Ulrich's hammer, and I will go where I'm needed. But we do have some.
Please come in and shut the door behind you. Rendell, could you guard the door, please? And bring your friends with you. The Den Father speaks highly of you and your friends.
So we come in and shut the door.
Carolyn comes in, still carrying a wrapped, mutilated wolf.
So, we have a lot going on, and it seems to be that the underworld of this city have taken interest in some relics that were held here. We've also heard rumour that there is some sort of cult planning to disrupt the fest.
Yes,
and we believe that you've had a run-in with. We've lost Dan.
We have.
Mordek's gone. How are we looking on screen? Are we all moved around?
Yeah, we'll be all over the place. You three are okay. It's just me and Dan that are
Okay.
kind of
invisible
because you can see either of my ears pretty much sticking out. And Dan's just got either side of his pillow, his cushion, but not Dan.
Okay.
Looks very strange. Hopefully we'll get.
It appears that some cult are involved as well. Go by the name of the Evolving Promise or something like that. But we're in a
Marshal.
bit of we've got as much of the city guard in our command at the moment to keep things under control or to keep things protected. But the journey between here and the park with Arthur's body, we think will be a perilous one. Now, I have petitioned to have this festival cancelled, but it's still going to go ahead. So I may need you to work on the inside, so to speak, to, I could possibly, use with a bit of help within the park area or, whatever you feel you're good at. We just need to keep an eye out for this this cult. Yeah.
We will definitely be there to serve Ulrich. I cannot speak for all my friends, though I believe they will all choose to help protect the city. What you're telling us very much mirrors our own investigation. It appears that the Big Cheese, a criminal underworld figure here, has been in works with members of the Ebon Blade.
Ebon Blade, you say?
Aye. In fact, the Ebon Blade today, Carolyn showed them the wolf last night, stapled this wolf to our door with vipers hidden in its belly and this sash around its neck, proclaiming it from the blade. And my good associate here, Elmarin, tells me it's the exact same material as the burial cloth over Artur's casket. They've marked us as enemies as we've marked them. We also know, indeed, we also know that it was the Big Cheese's organization with the help of the Ebon Blade and some eldritch machine driven by Warpstone that was used to burn through the vault at the Engineers Guild. They are all working in concert. We don't know exactly how the cult fits in or if they are simply allies of the moment, but all three agencies are working to some fell purpose during the festival.
And back.
Yep, and that means we're all back in our correct places.
Excellent. Dan looks like he's frozen. No, he's moving again. You've returned.
Yeah, apparently reloading Forge crashed my computer. Foundry, sorry.
Yeah.
As you do.
Marshal, one other thing that you should know, since you've said that the guard now falls under your command, there's strong evidence that a guard sergeant...
They're not under my command as such. We've got use of them, so...
Well, there's a guard sergeant. There's a guard sergeant named Rolf Casson, who is implicated as either a member of the cult or working in the Big Cheese's organization. We believe he was the inside man that fed information to them about the whereabouts of the Engineers Guild's locations.
Possibly a member of the Ebon Blade, from what was said.
That is true,
You've
Carol.
got evidence on this?
We have no hard evidence. It's all circumstantial, but it's all very telling.
Obviously, we can't act
No, but he
especially on a prominent member of the guard.
absolutely not. But
without-
he does. We should watch him closely.
Indeed, yeah. And at that point, the big knight seems to lose balance slightly and almost topples over, and he sort of grasps at the table and sort of steadies himself and takes a few deep breaths and he goes, oh, please forgive me. And he sort of straightens himself back up again. The colour's drained out of his face a little bit.
Knight Marshal, are you well?
I've been ill of late, but it's only, I'm told it's only some sort of viral illness of some form. The doctors and physicians have looked at me, and I've been given. Yeah, they've just said it could take a few weeks to pass.
May
Any
Ulrich
coughs?
watch over you.
Okay, well, I'm going to be busy over the next day or two, but I'm going to Baron Yaganaka's party in the parkway, mainly to see what sort of people are there or thereabouts outside of the party, see what's going on. I'd be honoured if you'd join me.
Absolutely. We have been invited as well. So
Okay.
we will be there.
So, well, maybe we should meet up there and see what is happening.
Aye. Knight Marshal by the Wolf and the Hammer. We will be there.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Do excuse me. Yes. If you could leave me and the Den Father, we have further business to talk about. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow night then. Yes.
Hagen bows again and
What
walks out.
should we do with this? Calvin indicates the wolf's body.
I'll get one of the brothers to give it a burial. Says the Den Father.
Shall I leave it here, or do you want me to take it somewhere?
Leave it just outside, please, if you don't mind, outside the rectory.
Of course. She will do so.
Yeah. So you leave the temple. I've just noticed in the time. What time are people good for? 10:15? Is that okay?
Soon to end would be good. I'm getting quite tired. Carolyn was actually hoping to spend some more time at the temple.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I can't seem to get back onto Foundry.
Don't worry. Oh, you're on there. It's showing you on there.
Yeah, it won't load the character.
No. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to write the characters down, and I'm going to do a complete reset of it and put the most recent update on there. We'll go from there. But you stay. There's a large area of the temple that's still untouched, and a lot of place to pray.
I would like to. Carolyn would like to spend. The others can do what they want for unless someone comes up with something to do in the next day and a half. She'd like to spend some time in the temple, actually, learning from the priests and things, because she's not actually had a chance to to learn what it's supposed to mean to be a priest of Ulrich.
Excellent. So yes, but as the others leave the temple, Hagen, you notice a rather dodgy-looking man on the opposite side of the road, cloaked in a black cloak. But you recognise his face as Brian the Worm.
He's not dead.
And he starts signalling to you to Okay, over to
That
him.
was a brick wall, that one.
So, Ilmarin, shall we see what Brian has for us?
Oh yes, I'm sure he'll be pleased to see me.
Well, strange bedfellows and all that. So we approach Brian.
He looks Ilmarin, but squints sort of thing, and then just shakes his head.
Can't
Yeah,
possibly
so,
be the same elf.
I told you I'd find some information. They got into the cellars of the buildings from the sewers, and I've asked a few questions, and I've heard that they've got some of the items that you see in an old. I believe it used to be some sort of tomb or something. There's nothing in there now. It's just dilapidated and ruined. But underneath the sewage system. But maybe tonight I could take you to where you could have a look down there. It's up to you.
Brian, I think that's an excellent idea. What time would you like to meet and where?
Shall we say 7? And we'll meet in the park. The southernmost part. Yeah.
We will be there.
They've built some big marquees for this festival for our tour that's going on. Big sort of marquee sort of inn thing. They call it the Claret Goblet. I'll meet you next to that.
We will see you there, Brian. I'm looking forward to a prosperous relationship with you.
So, Carolyn spends some prayer time. And what are you guys doing before 7 o'clock?
Well, Hagen would go back and brief Johan and Mordek about our meeting with Brian and the fact that it's 50-50 chance that it's an ambush. So we need to be prepared.
Ilmarin suggests he use his elven grace to move slightly upon the rooftops and scout out the area beforehand.
What? Sorry to interrupt. What did Johan and Mordek do while I was crashing out?
We haven't. They were doing their thing.
Oh, okay. Are we back in time to meet them?
Well, I mean, my plan is to get us breakfast and then go find someone to make.
Yeah, you had a nice breakfast and you found a really good tailor. He's asking quite a price for these boots. He's asking 5 gold coins, gold crowns to make these boots. But
okay.
the things
I'll
in
immediately
his
disregard
shop,
that because I don't have anywhere near that kind of money.
Yeah, the things in his shop are very, very extravagant, and the actual.
I'll just walk straight out and go find somewhere.
Okay.
I don't have 5 gold, so there's no point in me even talking
Yeah,
to him.
There's some guy on the market called Ned. Ned the Tailor. Yeah. Ned Taylor the Tailor.
Wow.
He says that he can bang you together some nice boots with that snakeskin. Yeah. Shall we call it 20 shillings?
I'm just going to find someone to basically prepare the skin for now.
I can do that for you.
No,
Yeah?
I will find someone to.
Okay.
You're going to find a tanner who can actually prepare the skin.
Yeah, I'm going to find a tanner who can actually prepare the skin because clearly, if it's going to cost me 5 gold, I don't have that money now. I have 3, so that's nowhere near good enough.
You're with an ex-dwarven merchant. Surely he can negotiate a better price.
Uh,
I'm not spending all my gold on them.
yeah, no.
So there's a dwarf called Clem Ironside. He works with leather. He's a leather worker, and yeah, he can sort these skins out for you, prepare them to be made into boots. Can I help? Can I ask who you're getting to make them?
I haven't found a suitable person yet.
Old Ned on the market. He's a competent
Cobbler.
leather worker. Yeah, I'm more of an armor person. But yeah, old Ned Taylor. He's very competent with the working of leather and fashionable items.
Interesting. Well, if you can tan them for now.
Indeed, yeah. It'll take a couple of 3 days. They've got to be. They're freshly dead. Yeah, let's get them prepared properly. You seem a finely dressed fella. I'd hate to rush it and to have the skin shrivel under it.
Well, you're the expert here. No problem.
Okay. Shall we call it 5 shillings?
Sure, no problem.
It's a pleasure to do business with a.
I mean, is
a
that
chap who
normal?
doesn't
Would
haggle.
Johan have any idea if that's if he's asking a lot? I don't know.
It's very much of a muchness. Again, you get what you pay for. I mean, the chap whose shop you went into was charging 5 gold.
More money than I have.
Absolutely, but the clothes in there were splendid. They were fantastic, and old Mr. Taylor with his, he got some nice shirts. They were very sort of middle of the road.
Surely I'd need a cobbler to make shoes.
Yeah, well, Ned Taylor's multi-skilled. He's got a little anvil there, one of those anvils with. It looks almost like a cube, but on there's a place to sort of fit the shoe on, and but yeah.
Okay, but with regards to
He also
price
works
makes
with
sense.
fur as well, does Mr. Taylor?
I don't have any furs.
Not everyone. Don't want to get in trouble with the others.
Just don't.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. But I do have haggle. Would I know if that was a reasonable price?
What, the 5 shillings? You reckon you could get him down a little bit? I mean, he's a dwarf.
All right, I will ask. Oh, I'm not going to ask more. I know what his.
Please don't
social
ask me to
skills are
roll
gonna
anything
be
at the
like.
moment because I can't get Foundry to work.
All right, I'll give it a go.
And just because time is a thing, I'll
I'm
do
gonna
my thing
re-roll
next
that.
week if that's okay, Jim.
Okay. What is it you're wanting to do?
I was going to
Hey.
have a little nose around for some full plate armor.
Okay.
Seeing as it's close to the end, I'll spend another fortune point to turn that to 2 success levels.
So, well, haggle with me, Roger. So it'll be 5 shillings.
Come on, you can do it for 2.
10.
1.
10.
1.
Five.
2.
10.
A penny?
tell you what I'll do. I'll do it, yeah. And you're breaking me back here, yeah. I'll do it, yeah. For 2 shillings.
Done.
Okay. And sort of nods to himself as he takes the 2 shillings from you.
kind of leaving. I'm just going to look really confused at Mordek.
What just happened? Yeah.
No.
Just the look of, I don't know what just happened.
What Mordek knows that the dwarves value round numbers when it comes to haggling, and 10, 100, 1,000, yeah, they're the numbers to go for. That's where you make most profit. Yeah, so to get a dwarf to break away from a solid number takes, skill within haggling.
No wonder we're a declining race. Can't haggle for shit.
No, that's right. Well, if he'd have won the haggle, it'd have gone in with the 100.
It's nothing to do with goblins and Skaven and pointy-eared elves. It's the fact that we can't barter.
But can't buy food because you're going too high.
How much for that
low.
turnip? 10 gold.
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah, so Mordek, you're
And,
going looking for armor. Just so I can get it ready for when we next play, how much sort of money have you got that you're looking to spend?
I've got about 3 goldish, but I'm not looking for a fancy plate of armor, full plate armor like our knights here. I'm looking for a second-hand dwarven sized plate armor set.
I think you're going to need a bit more money.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Hagen's got another 3 gold he could loan you.
Worth the investment.
Yeah. Trying to keep us alive. Absolutely.
I was going to put my toughness up as well.
So everybody returns to the tavern except for Carolyn, who's happy within her faith and her prayer. And you all prepare to meet Brian the Worm this very night and to travel down into the sewers to try and find a lump of Warpstone, I believe, some plans. Anybody else got anything they're looking for?
Just the rest of the relics.
Book of Forbidden Magics.
No,
yes, the Book of Forbidden Magics, yeah. Glad you remembered that.
Anyone who's holding on to any of the aforementioned things so we can smash their heads in.
Absolutely.
Anyone that's got too many or not
Anyone
enough
who has too many
things.
heads so we can smash all of their heads in.
Anybody
too
who's
many
got 3
arms
heads.
bad, all of that kind of stuff.
3 arms bad, yes.
Or any, beastmen that look like rats. That's a no-go. As
Just
far as
beastmen in
Hagen's
general,
concerned.
any kind of
Beast
As
beast.
if I'm going to put you up against beastmen that look like rats underneath Middenheim. Come on, behave.
I know. And I got hit too hard in the head by the other beastmen.
Who look like
Absolutely.
rats.
But as we draw episode 5 to an end, I just want to thank everybody. We're going to have a bit of a break next week because I'm in sunny Skeg Vegas way. And we'll be meeting in 2 weeks' time on the Wednesday. I believe there's something happening next week. Is there some Wrath and Glory or something?
I think there's a one-shot running.
Yeah.
I believe our patrons are currently voting on that at the moment.
Okay. Anybody got any ideas what's happening this week, on tomorrow and Friday?
Tomorrow is Star Trek Adventures, the original series Klingon episode.
Okay.
Maybe.
And then maybe. But tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, while all of you wonderful people are asleep, we'll be playing some Delta Green.
Wow. Delta Green, other side of the pond ways.
Exactly. You guys can catch it on YouTube. It'll be worth it.
Excellent. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the players for making the game what it is. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Please join us on Discord, the great family of Garblag. And yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you.
Right.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta!